As we begin this Lenten season, I was thinking about something people always say. They say, stay prayed up. But the phrase kept coming to me, stay graced up. And what that really means is if we can stay in a state of grace, it'll be easier to pray. It'll be easier to fast. It'll be easier to give our alms, to give to others, to be charitable. And so, as I was looking through the Bible and the many places that God talks about grace, one of my favorites, Corinthians 12, verse 9, came to me. And I think many of you are familiar with it. It says, "But he said to me, my grace is sufficient for you, for my power is made perfect in weakness." And it goes on, and I don't have to go on in the whole verse. But when Jesus says to us, my grace is sufficient, that's all you need. It's all you need when your child dies. It's all you need when your spouse leaves. It's all you need when your loved one is an addict. It's all you need when you don't have the money to pay your bills. It's all you need to get through the persecution that you are faced daily when you stand on the gospel. And by the way, I've said in other videos, if you're not being persecuted, you might want to question yourself, because are you really speaking the truth? Are you really stepping out? Anyway, so the idea of staying graced up. Remember, grace is undeserved favor. And how do we get grace? Well, we can stay in a state of grace, but the best way to get grace is to get the sacraments. Get to confession. Okay, look, I am saying this. I'm 60 years old as one who didn't go to confession for probably, I don't know when the last time I went to confession was as a youth. Let's just say probably a teenager. Now, I don't think I went back to confession for 30 years after that. I never had any aversion to it, but I became very Protestant in my thinking. It was like, well, we don't need it. I can just confess my sins to God. So really start digging in. Use this Lenten season to dig into that being an untruthful thing, that being a misunderstanding from when the Protestants broke away from the Catholic faith. Remember, all my beautiful Protestant brothers and sisters, there's not one single Protestant religion that was formed by giving anything to the deposit of faith. We got all that from Jesus to his apostles. Once the apostles died, the deposit of faith was complete because he and the firsthand knowledge, right? So the deposit of faith is done. Protestants were formed by saying, well, this stuff that you passed on, Jesus, I don't like that, so strip that away. Or I don't like that, strip that away. I don't like the idea of indulgence, and strip that away. I don't like what you say about marriage, strip that away. I don't like what you say about fasting, strip that away. I don't like what you say about when the sacraments, strip that away. I don't like what you say about the Eucharist being Jesus' body and blood. It's just a symbol, strip that away. And that's why we've gotten these 48,000 or more other Protestant sects, sects. And so this isn't a video on you, my beautiful Protestant brothers and sisters, but it is to say that Jesus gave us all the ways to get grace possible. We need to take advantage of it. So it was at the Last Supper that Jesus gave the power to Peter to bind and loose. He gave him and the apostles the sacrament of reconciliation, of penance. Whose sins you bind. Not everybody. I've had some other people misinterpret. Oh, this binding and loosing is something I can do. No, binding and loosing is only something Jesus gave to his apostles, his church leaders, his bishops, which, i.e., is the Catholic Church. So he gave them the power to bind and loose. He said to Peter and his apostles, whose sins you forgive, we'll forgive them in heaven. And whose sins you don't forgive, whose sins you bind, we're going to keep those bound in heaven. So the sacrament of reconciliation, confession, penance, whatever you have been known to call it, when you go there, even if you're not in a state of mortal sin, which I hope you're not, grace is poured into you like water into a pitcher. And the more graces you have, the better you can deal with the garbage that's going on in society, the better you can handle the name calling. Oh my gosh, there's so much of that. You're an anti-vaxxer, you're an anti, uh, I can't even think of it. You're racist, you're a bigot, you're misogynist, you're all the names because they don't have logic, they have names. You can handle them better when you're in a state of grace. When you make yourself that vessel and you allow God to pour the graces in you, that will help you bounce like a ping pong ball off of those attempts to take you down. The other graces, the Eucharist, the Holy Eucharist, being able to ingest the body and bloods, soul and divinity of God in your body. He encapsulated his bigness into a woman's body, into her womb, and then he put himself at her mercy, right? Whatever, I'm going to trust her. But then after he died and rose and went to heaven, he says, but I'm going to give each of you, my children, my brothers and sisters, this ability to have me in you and with you always. And as our DNA changes into his DNA, just like any other food we eat, it stays with us until, like the Bible says, it passes out through the latrine. And that's only the bad stuff. The good stuff stays in us. So imagine the more you're putting good stuff in you, like the Eucharist, going to daily mass if you can. These graces, keeping you graced up. Pray your rosaries, pray your novenas, pray all your prayers. Love one another. Live by the commandments, live by the Beatitudes. Practice the virtues. Stay graced up. And the more you stay graced up, the better you can handle anything that Satan and his minions throw at you. Because remember, my grace is sufficient. My power is made perfect in your weakness. So we are weak, but he is strong. Let's let his power make us strong. Stay graced up. I'm Dr. Christine Bacon. You've been watching an informational Bacon Bit. And as always, remember to live your life sunny side up.